Gina Clark is missing. She was last seen in Kansas City, Missouri. The Kansas City Police Department is actively investigating her disappearance. They are asking for the public's help in locating her. Gina is the daughter of the late songwriter, Rudy Clark. Rudy Clark wrote many hit songs, including Good Lovin' and Everybody Plays the Fool. Gina inherited a condo in Madeira Beach, Florida from her father. Rudy Clark was a renowned songwriter. His music touched millions. His legacy lived on through his daughter Gina. She cherished her father's memory. She kept his awards and mementos close to her heart. They were more than objects, they were a part of him. Gina's life took an unexpected turn. Her condo in Florida was damaged. Hurricane Helene had struck the coast, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Gina's condo suffered significant damage. Hurricane Helene ravaged the Florida coast. Madeira Beach was hit hard, many homes and businesses were destroyed. Gina's condo was among those damaged. She was devastated by the news. Her home, filled with memories of her father, was in ruins. The condo association took action. They needed to clean up the damage. They disposed of belongings from damaged units. Unfortunately, Gina's belongings were among those discarded. This included her father's valuable gold records and his military burial flag. Gina was heartbroken. The gold records represented her father's success. The military burial flag was a symbol of his service to his country. These were irreplaceable items. They held immense sentimental value. Gina was devastated by their loss. Gina returned to Kansas City. She was still grieving the loss of her belongings. She was trying to cope with the emotional toll of the situation. Then, she disappeared. The Kansas City community is concerned. Gina's disappearance is unsettling. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are unusual. The police are working tirelessly to find her. They are following every lead and pursuing every angle. The public is urged to come forward. Any information, no matter how small, could be crucial. Someone, somewhere might have seen something. Even the smallest detail could hold the key to finding Gina. Section 6. The emotional toll. Gina's family is distraught. They are living every parent's worst nightmare. The uncertainty is unbearable. They are clinging to hope. Hope that Gina will be found safe. Hope that they will be reunited soon. The loss of her father's mementos had a profound impact on Gina. The gold records and the flag were more than just possessions. They represented her father's legacy. They were a tangible connection to him. Their loss was a devastating blow. Section 7. Every second counts. Time is of the essence. The first 48 hours are critical in a missing person case. The police are working against the clock. They are following every lead, but they need the public's help. If you have any information, please come forward. No piece of information is too small. You may think what you know is insignificant, but it could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Section 8. Seeking answers, finding hope. The search for Gina continues. The police are determined to find her. They are exploring all avenues. They are interviewing witnesses. They are reviewing surveillance footage. They are leaving no stone unturned. The community is rallying around Gina's family. They are offering support and prayers. They are organizing search parties. They are distributing flyers. They are determined to bring Gina home. Section 9. Join the search for Gina. Gina Clark is still missing. Her family and friends are desperate for answers. The police are working tirelessly to find her, but they need your help. If you have any information about Gina's whereabouts, please contact the Kansas City Police Department immediately. Your call could bring Gina home. Could Gina Clark being missing ties to the Springfield 3 or the death of Cassidy Rainwater? Locations and times do add up, but very few leads stops the connection from being found. What is happening in Missouri that keeps everyone silent, even when a young girl like Gina had already witnessed the death of her boyfriend and her health was in a bad way? Why is it that Missouri residents have a hush-hush policy? Is it the Missouri corruption that flows in each county, or is it the fear of them being next? Cassidy Rainwater, a young woman from Missouri, seemingly vanished. It was as if she had disappeared into thin air. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Friends and family clung to hope, but fear gnawed at the edges of their optimism. Her absence was a chilling mystery, a puzzle with no apparent pieces. Cassidy was last seen in July of 2021. By August, her absence had become unbearable for those who knew her. A missing person report was filed, casting a long shadow over the small town where she was last seen. The authorities began their investigation, but leads were scarce, and hope dwindled with each passing day. The mystery of Cassidy Rainwater's disappearance would soon turn far darker than anyone could have imagined. The investigation, slow and agonizing at first, would lead authorities to a secluded property in Dallas County, Missouri. There, amidst the isolation of the Ozarks, a house of horrors awaited. What they found at that property, 386 Moon Valley Road, would shock the community and ignite a firestorm of speculation and fear. Cassidy Rainwater was gone, but the truth, however horrific, would soon surface. The property at 386 Moon Valley Road was nondescript, blending into the rural landscape. It was the kind of place that held its secrets close, shielded by trees and distance from prying eyes. But the silence of the Ozarks couldn't contain the truth any longer. Acting on a tip, investigators descended upon the property. They were met with a scene that would forever be etched in their memories. Inside the house, evidence of a horrific crime unfolded. Photographs, chilling in their detail, depicted Cassidy Rainwater alive but bound, held captive within the very walls of the house. But the horrors of 386 Moon Valley Road did not end there. Investigators uncovered human remains on the property, meticulously concealed. Forensic testing would later confirm their worst fears. The remains belonged to Cassidy Rainwater. The details as they emerged were too gruesome to ignore. Cassidy had not simply disappeared, she had been taken, held against her will, and ultimately met a grim end within the confines of that isolated house. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, replacing the anguish of uncertainty with the raw agony of confirmation. The investigation into Cassidy Rainwater's disappearance intensified, shifting from a missing person case to a homicide investigation. At the center of it all stood two men, James Phelps and Timothy Norton. Both men were residents of the property at 386 Moon Valley Road, and both quickly became the prime suspects in Cassidy's disappearance. The investigation revealed a disturbing timeline. Cassidy had been acquainted with Phelps and Norton. Digital evidence, including messages and images found on electronic devices seized from the property, painted a grim picture of her final days. The evidence suggested that Cassidy had been lured to the property under false pretenses. The investigation revealed a sinister motive. Phelps, in subsequent interviews, admitted to holding Cassidy captive within a cage on his property. The details of her confinement, the duration of her ordeal, and the circumstances surrounding her death remain shrouded in secrecy. The investigation, however, uncovered a deep well of depravity, revealing the darkest impulses of the human heart. As the investigation progressed, a narrative of manipulation, violence, and ultimately murder began to emerge. The details, often too disturbing to recount, shocked even the most seasoned investigators. Cassidy Rainwater had been failed, not only by the justice system that should have protected her, but by the very people she had trusted. Section 4. Whispers of Cannibalism and a Web of Speculation. As the investigation at 386 Moon Valley Road continued, a chilling rumor began to circulate. Whispers of cannibalism, fueled by online speculation, and the gruesome nature of the crime, spread like wildfire. The rumors, though unsubstantiated, found fertile ground in the public's imagination, further amplifying the horror of Cassidy Rainwater's fate. The rumors stemmed from the depraved nature of the crime and the cryptic online postings attributed to Phelps. Some online sleuths claimed to have uncovered evidence of cannibalistic practices, pointing to Phelps's alleged interest in the occult and the macabre. The online community, hungry for answers in the absence of concrete information, latched onto these theories, weaving a tapestry of horror that extended far beyond the confirmed facts of the case. While law enforcement officials acknowledged the rumors, they were quick to dismiss them as unfounded speculation. Despite extensive investigation, no evidence was found to corroborate the cannibalism claims. The rumors, however, persisted, fueled by the public's morbid curiosity and the case's already horrific nature. The whispers of cannibalism, while ultimately unsubstantiated, served as a grim reminder of the power of speculation and the human fascination with the macabre. The rumors, though unfounded, added another layer of tragedy to Cassidy Rainwater's story, further obscuring the truth behind her untimely demise. Section 5. The Springfield 3, a haunting parallel. The gruesome discovery at 386 Moon Valley Road sent ripples of unease through the region, evoking memories of another unsolved mystery, the disappearance of the Springfield 3. In 1992, 3 women, Suzanne Streeter, Stacy McCall, and Cheryl Levitt, vanished without a trace from a Springfield, Missouri home. The case, despite capturing national attention, remains unsolved, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. The proximity of the Rainwater case to Springfield, coupled with the unsettling similarities in the circumstances surrounding both investigations, fueled speculation of a possible connection. Online forums buzzed with theories, some suggesting that Phelps and Norton might have had ties to the Springfield 3 case. Others posited that the 2 cases, while likely unrelated, pointed to a larger, more sinister pattern at play. Law enforcement officials, however, have been reluctant to draw any connections between the 2 cases. Despite the geographical proximity and the shared element of mystery, no concrete evidence has emerged to suggest a link. The Springfield 3 case remains an open wound, a chilling reminder of the limitations of justice and the enduring power of unanswered questions. While the connection between the Rainwater case and the Springfield 3 remains purely speculative, the shadow of that unsolved mystery looms large. The possibility, however remote, that these 2 cases might be intertwined serves as a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk in seemingly ordinary places and the enduring need for answers in the face of unimaginable tragedy.
The heartland of America, fields of corn stretching as far as the eye can see. But in Springfield, Missouri, the safe, familiar facade crumbled on June 7, 1992. That's the day the earth seemed to swallow 3 women whole: Suzanne Streeter, Stacy McCall, and Cheryl Levitt. Their disappearance sent shockwaves through the community and beyond, becoming one of the most baffling missing persons cases in American history. Join us as we take a closer look at the case, examining the details, exploring the theories, and keeping the memory of Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl alive. Suzanne Susie Streeter, 19 years old, was vibrant and full of life. Stacy McCall, Susie's best friend, was also 19. Cheryl Levitt, Susie's mother, was a loving and devoted parent. The lives of these 3 women were deeply intertwined. Susie and Stacy, inseparable since childhood, shared an unbreakable bond. Together, these 3 women formed a tight-knit unit, their lives a tapestry woven together with threads of love, laughter, and shared dreams. Suzanne Streeter, known affectionately as Susie, was a bright and bubbly 19-year-old with a contagious smile. She had recently graduated from Kickapoo High School, where she had excelled in her studies and made lifelong friends. Susie possessed a natural artistic talent, a flair for fashion that extended into her own creations. Her dream was to become a fashion designer. She spent hours sketching designs, her mind brimming with ideas for clothing lines and accessories. Susie was filled with excitement and anticipation for the future, eager to turn her passion into a career. Stacy McCall, Susie's closest confidant, was a ray of sunshine in human form. Her infectious laughter and genuine warmth could brighten even the gloomiest of days. Stacy had just graduated from Kickapoo High School, where she had been a popular student known for her quick wit and kind heart. She excelled in her classes, particularly in science and biology, which fueled her dream of becoming a veterinarian. Stacy's friendship with Susie was the kind that ran deep, forged in shared experiences and unwavering mutual support. As graduation approached, Stacy was excited to embark on the next chapter of her life. Cheryl Levitt, Susie's mother, was the epitome of a loving and devoted parent. At 47 years old, she exuded a warmth and kindness that instantly put others at ease. Cheryl had raised Susie as a single mother, pouring her heart and soul into providing her daughter with a loving and supportive home. Cheryl worked as a receptionist at a local doctor's office, known for her friendly demeanor and her ability to put patients at ease. Despite the demands of being a single mother, Cheryl always made time for Susie, attending her school events and offering a listening ear. Cheryl's love for Susie was evident in everything she did, from the carefully prepared meals to the hand-knitted scarves she gifted her daughter each Christmas. The evening of June 6, 1992 began like any other in Springfield, Missouri. At the quiet home of Cheryl Levitt, excitement hung in the air. It was graduation weekend and Susie Streeter, Cheryl's daughter, was buzzing with anticipation for the future. Her best friend, Stacy McCall, was a constant presence, their laughter echoing through the house as they tried on different outfits. The two teenagers were making the most of their last few days together before embarking on their separate college journeys. Little did they know that these ordinary moments of joy and anticipation would soon give way to an unimaginable nightmare. June 7th, 1992, dawned bright and sunny, the kind of day that seemed to promise endless possibilities. Susie and Stacy spent the day flitting between graduation parties, their laughter echoing through the crowded rooms. As the sun began its descent, Susie and Stacy made their way to their final destination, a graduation party hosted by a classmate at a local park. As the party wound down, Susie and Stacy decided to head back to Susie's house. Around 10:30 p.m., they piled into Stacy's car and drove off into the warm summer night. They couldn't have known that this time the road wouldn't lead them home. The first rays of dawn on June 8, 1992, painted the sky with hues of pink and orange, but for Cheryl Levitt, the new day brought a chilling discovery. Susie and Stacy were still not home, and a knot of fear tightened in her chest. With a heavy heart, Cheryl stepped outside and made her way to Susie's car, a white Chrysler, which was usually parked in the driveway. To her horror, the car was gone. Gathering her wits, Cheryl called the Springfield Police Department and reported Susie and Stacy missing. Little did they know that this seemingly routine missing persons case would soon evolve into one of the most baffling mysteries in American history. News of Susie and Stacy's disappearance spread through Springfield like wildfire. Friends and neighbors gathered at Cheryl's home, offering support. The neighborhood was abuzz with police activity. Police launched a full-scale investigation. They scoured the park where Susie and Stacy were last seen. Interviews with friends and family yielded no clues. Days turned into weeks, deepening the mystery. Despite efforts, the police were no closer. The case captured media attention nationwide. Stacy's car was found abandoned, deepening the mystery. The car yielded no new leads. The discovery only deepened the mystery. Where were Susie and Stacy? What happened after they left the party? Their disappearance left a void in Springfield. The search continued, fueled by hope. The mystery of the Springfield Three had just begun. The disappearance of Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl sent shockwaves through Springfield. The community, accustomed to the rhythm of ordinary life, was suddenly confronted with an unimaginable horror. The initial response was a flurry of activity. Search parties combed through fields and wooded areas, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. Missing person posters appeared on telephone poles, shop windows, and car windshields. The police quickly realized they were dealing with something far more sinister. All three women had vanished without a trace, leaving behind their purses, identification, and even their cars. The absence of any signs of a struggle only deepened the mystery. As days turned into weeks, hope began to recede, replaced by a gnawing sense of dread. The community began to grapple with the possibility that Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl might never be coming home. The families clung to the slimmest of hopes, praying for a miracle while bracing themselves for the worst. The investigation intensified. The FBI was called in. Every aspect of the women's lives was scrutinized, hoping to uncover any clue that could lead to their whereabouts. Section 2, Dead Ends and False Leads. A labyrinth of unanswered questions. The investigation into the Springfield 3 case was like navigating a labyrinth with countless dead ends and false turns. Every lead, every whispered rumor, every tip called in by well-meaning citizens seemed to evaporate into thin air. The police, their frustration mounting with each passing day, chased down every possible scenario, but the truth remained elusive, hidden beneath layers of speculation and unanswered questions. One early theory focused on the possibility that the women had been victims of a random act of violence, their disappearance the tragic result of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, this theory was quickly dismissed due to the lack of any physical evidence, any sign of a struggle, or any witnesses to suggest foul play. The fact that the women had vanished from a seemingly safe neighborhood, their cars left undisturbed, only added to the enigma. Another line of inquiry centered on the possibility that the women had been targeted by someone they knew, perhaps someone harboring a grudge or seeking revenge. The police meticulously investigated the women's personal relationships, interviewing friends, acquaintances, and even former romantic partners. However, despite their best efforts, no credible suspects emerged, and this line of investigation ultimately proved fruitless. As weeks turned into months, the case grew colder, and the trail went from lukewarm to ice cold. The media attention, initially intense, began to wane as other news stories took center stage. However, for the families of Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl, the pain remained as raw as ever, their lives forever altered by the agonizing uncertainty surrounding the fate of their loved ones. Section 3. Theories emerge, whispers in the wind. With the official investigation hitting one dead end after another, theories about the fate of the Springfield 3 began to circulate, fueled by a mixture of genuine concern, morbid curiosity, and the human need to find an explanation for the unexplainable. Rumors, like whispers in the wind, spread through the community, each retelling adding a new layer of speculation, blurring the lines between fact and fiction. Some whispered about the possibility of a serial killer operating in the area, preying on unsuspecting victims and vanishing without a trace. Others speculated that the women had been caught in a web of organized crime, their disappearance a grim consequence of crossing paths with dangerous individuals. Still, others clung to the belief that the women were still alive, perhaps living under assumed identities, their memories erased or suppressed by some unknown force. One of the most persistent theories centered on a local crime figure who was rumored to have had a connection to the women. According to this theory, the women had stumbled upon information that could incriminate this individual, and their disappearance was a way to silence them permanently. While this theory was never substantiated with concrete evidence, it gained traction among some investigators and fueled public speculation for years to come. Despite the numerous theories put forth, none could fully account for the baffling circumstances surrounding the women's disappearance. The lack of any ransom demands, any communication from potential captors, and any credible sightings after their disappearance only served to deepen the mystery. The Springfield 3 case had become a breeding ground for speculation, a blank canvas upon which people projected their fears, suspicions, and desperate hope for answers. Section 4. The weight of speculation, separating fact from fiction. Speculations surrounding the Springfield 3 case often did more harm than good. Rumors obscured the truth and hindered the investigation. Separating fact from fiction became a Herculean task. False leads consumed valuable time and resources. Well-meaning individuals often contacted the police with misinformation. These dead ends consumed valuable time and resources. The constant barrage of speculation took a toll on the families. They were subjected to a constant stream of rumors and wild accusations. The families often found themselves ostracized. The Springfield 3 case serves as a cautionary tale. It is essential to approach such mysteries with skepticism and rely on verified facts. The pursuit of justice requires evidence-based reasoning and a commitment to the truth. Decades have passed since Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl vanished without a trace, their disappearance leaving an unfillable void in the lives of their loved ones and a lingering shadow over the community of Springfield. The case, officially classified as a cold case, remains unsolved, but it is far from forgotten. The memory of the Springfield 3 lives on, kept alive by the unwavering determination of their families. the tireless efforts of law enforcement, and the enduring hope that someday, somehow, the truth will be revealed. The disappearance of Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl sent shockwaves through Springfield, Missouri, a community where such horrors seemed unimaginable. The idyllic image of small-town life where neighbors knew each other by name and children played freely in the streets was shattered, replaced by a pervasive sense of fear and vulnerability. The very fabric of the community, woven together by threads of trust and shared values, seemed to unravel, leaving behind a palpable sense of unease. In the wake of the disappearances, fear became an unwelcome guest in many Springfield homes. Parents, once content to let their children roam freely, now kept a watchful eye, their hearts filled with a newfound anxiety. The sound of a car door slamming shut, once a familiar part of the daily rhythm, now sent shivers down spines. The once peaceful streets where children used to chase fireflies on warm summer nights now seemed filled with unseen dangers. The case also cast a long shadow over law enforcement in Springfield. The police department, accustomed to dealing with petty crimes and minor disturbances, was thrust into the national spotlight, their every move scrutinized, their every decision questioned. The weight of expectations, the pressure to solve a case that had baffled even the most seasoned investigators took its toll, leaving some officers disillusioned and questioning their ability to protect and serve. The disappearances also highlighted the vulnerability of young women, a chilling reminder that even in seemingly safe communities, danger could lurk around any corner. The case sparked conversations about personal safety, self-defense, and the importance of being aware of one's surroundings. It forced parents to have difficult conversations with their children, shattering the illusion of invincibility that often accompanies youth and replacing it with a sobering dose of reality. The Springfield 3 case transcended its small Missouri town, becoming a national obsession. True crime shows dissected it, while armchair detectives speculated online. The case tapped into deep fears about violence and safety, prompting communities to implement safety programs and increase awareness. Despite the passage of time, the legacy of the Springfield 3 endures, a testament to hope, love, and justice. Families and law enforcement remain committed, seeking answers and keeping the memory alive. Their strength inspires us all. The story of the Springfield 3 is a haunting reminder that, even in the heartland, some mysteries linger. Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl, their faces frozen in time, their stories left unfinished, deserve justice. They deserve to have their stories told, their memories kept alive. They deserve to be more than just names on a cold case file. What happened to Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl on that warm June night? The answer remains elusive, hidden somewhere in the labyrinth of time. But even in the absence of answers, we can honor their memory by keeping their story alive, talk about them, share their pictures, keep their case in the public eye. It's the least we can do. Someone, somewhere, might hold the missing piece of the puzzle, a detail, however small, that could unlock the secrets of that fateful night. Perhaps a long-forgotten memory, a fleeting suspicion, a whispered rumor heard long ago. No detail is too insignificant, no lead too cold to pursue. The families of Suzanne, Stacy, and Cheryl have never given up hope. Neither should we. Let us honor their memory by keeping their story alive, by never forgetting their names, and by holding on to the hope that someday, somehow, justice will prevail and the truth will come to light.
Sits outside Cheryl Levitt's home in south central Springfield. It will remain here, along with an officer, to talk with neighbors or anyone else who might have some information about the 3 missing women.
We set that post up at approximately 6 p.m. last night, and at 6:30 we've got our first lead out of there. A lot of the public that lives in that area or drives through that area is stopping by, taking advantage of an officer actually being on site for them to talk to, and some lead cards are developing out of the command post.
Officers and volunteers combed remote areas in and around Springfield this weekend. The search turned up some items, but like others found before, there's no indication they're related to the disappearance.
But you saw the river, but you just didn't see them down there.
More than 24 detectives continue working leads around the clock, and leads continue to pour in.
As long as you have leads to follow, your hopes remain high. Frustration develops whenever you're out of leads and you've went through your case 3 or 4 times. Can't think of anything else new to do.
In the quiet of the night, I hear your heart call. Every whispered word, it breaks down the walls. With your hand in mine, I feel the world fade, but I'm lost in the shadows of the love we've made. Oh, how did I forget to show you my truth? Every moment we share, I wanted to relive with you. You're my sunrise, my beautiful dawn. In the arms of your love, it's where I belong. And if the stars fall from the sky, I'll hold you close, I will never say goodbye. You're everything you are, you're my beating heart. In this dance of forever, I don't wanna part. With every choice I made, I chose to love you. Yet I fear that my silence might shadow what's true. When I look in your eyes, I see my whole life. You're the spark in my soul, my partner, my life. Oh, how do I speak the words that I hide? Every second with you, it's a beautiful ride.